Welcome back to the Crypto Cruiser. It's me, Chris, and today we're going to talk about ADA, Cardano. We're going to talk some fundamentals. We're also going to talk why ADA is so valuable, what makes it unique. Is it because of its huge ecosystem and there's so many applications built on it, like decentralized applications, such as decentralized exchanges, lending protocols, meme coins, you name it. A lot of programmers are building a lot of different applications, as I've said. A lot of unique addresses are subscribing to that network. But yeah, we'll talk about some fundamentals of ADA. We're going to talk chart analysis, ADA compared to the dollar, and Cardano compared to the Bitcoin chart. We're going to talk some traditional markets, S&P 500. And I've told you that this week we'll go above 6,000, and that's exactly what we did. We're also gonna talk what potentially can play out next week, and of course we're gonna start with the Bitcoin chart, the godfather of all coins. So, as I've said, I anticipate a correction. Now, we have two options. My personal opinion: anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice. It's for pure entertainment purposes. And before you do anything, do your diligence and make your own research. So, as I've said, what I'm anticipating is to actually correct, right? But is it possible for us to go even further than 100,000 and potentially go to 109,000 and then start the correction and potentially test this previous yearly resistance line, or the correction has already started? Is to be seen. I can clearly see there's quite a lot of bullish momentum, and we almost went to 98,600. So that's quite a lot. So we already reached these almost all-time high prices. So potentially we can break out of it next week or over the weekend, and potentially we can go above 100,000, and then the correction starts. That's one scenario. The other scenario is that the correction is here, and that we are heading for prices of around 82, between 82 85,000. There's this previous yearly resistance line acted as resistance in April and November of 2021. Its previous all-time high at price of around 64 and 69,000, and of course, beginning of this year, it acted as resistance as well in March. Price of around 73,000, and we broke out of it this month, beginning of November. Between 9th and 10th of November, we actually managed to break out of it, and pretty much you can clearly see this huge move from prices of around 66,000 to all the way to 100,000. We never had a pullback. Now we're having just a slight pullback, but a very swift recovery. So let's just see how exactly it's going to play out. If we see huge downward momentum over the weekend, then of course the correction is there, and potentially we will test price of around 82,000. And of course, this is just gonna be short term. I still anticipate by the end of the year or early next, or by end of January, to hit price of above 110,000. This is just my personal opinion. Potentially we're gonna have a huge correction after that. We'll find the bottom, and then gonna have more continuation of the trend on the upside. So we're in a raging bull market when it comes to Bitcoin. Let's just look at S&P 500. And since I've launched my channel, I've been nothing but right. So I've told you right here that I anticipate a huge correction, ABC correction, 10% on the downside. And that's exactly what happened. And then a V-shaped recovery. You can turn back some of my videos, guys. Everything has been documented. I think my very first video was a V-shaped recovery. And that's what we had, a V-shaped recovery. And once we start hitting almost all-time high prices at around 5,650, I've told you that we're going to drop down. We're going to test this previous resistance line. And then we're going to have the continuation of the trend and start hitting price of around 6,000. Then we're going to have a little bit of a pullback. We'll test this local top at 5,850. We'll turn it into support, and then we're gonna have more continuation of the trend. And I've told you that potentially this week we were about to hit 6,100. Well, we didn't reach over there, but still we had quite a good bounce, and we in the process, we actually formed a reverse head and shoulders, which measure from the head to the top to the bottom here. The price target should be above 6,250. So there's more upside momentum coming the next weeks, and by the end of the year or early next one, above 6,250. So the Bitcoin chart looks bullish. The traditional markets, S&P 500, also telling us that we're in a raging bull market. And of course, some of the altcoins will start actually outperforming the Bitcoin. And look at that move in November. I've told you, from price of around 30 cents. Actually, I think it was even lower. Yeah, around 30 cents. We went above $1, like for almost 4x in a matter of months. And I've told you that's how it usually goes. Some of these coins, they can go absolutely nuts once a Bitcoin start outperform, go all-time high. Some of the altcoins will actually outperform Bitcoin, and that's exactly what we're seeing. We snap out of all the resistance line, but we'll talk about the chart analysis just a little bit later on. Let's just talk some fundamentals, what Cardano is all about. Let's talk why it's so valuable. So the market cap at the time of recording is around 37 billion. The total supply, the maximum supply is 45 billion, but the circulating supply is 35 billion. So in order for Cardano to go $10, for example, we need 350 billion market capitalization or 10x from here. Is that possible? Well, let's see. I mean, again, this is not a financial advice. It's for pure entertainment purposes. Cardano can easily go to zero as well. But in my personal opinion, Cardano has more upside momentum. Cardano is a proof of stake blockchain platform that says its goal is to allow change makers, innovators, and visionaries to bring about positive global change. I mean, Cardano is a very unique um, blockchain. Cardano is one of the biggest blockchains to successfully use proof of stake consensus mechanism, which is less energy intensive than the proof of work algorithm relied upon by Bitcoin. Although the much larger Ethereum is going to be upgraded to proof of stake, this transition is only going to take place gradually. I mean, it's a very useful and valuable blockchain. And as I've said, the market capitalization in 2021 we hit all-time high at. I remember clearly we went above 100 billion market capitalization in 2021. So potentially, if we go to 100 billion market capitalization, that will be prices of around $3 for Cardano if we go there. But um, what makes it valuable? Well, it has a huge ecosystem. A lot of decentralized applications are built on it. So many unique addresses are subscribed to that network. And according to the Merkle flow, that what makes one network truly valuable is the people who actually want to join. And believe me, Cardano has one of the biggest fan bases out there. That's what makes it truly unique and valuable. I mean, look at Dogecoin. How come Dogecoin went above 100 billion market capitalization in 2021, 4 years ago? It's not because of fundamentals or anything like that, but because it has a lot of hype behind it, and there's so many people who actually want to join that network. Um, Not only that, but there's many, as I've said, many applications built on Cardano. So that means that there's a lot of programmers who are building different applications on ADA. Um, I think yeah, there's more upside momentum for ADA. But let's just talk about this chart analysis. And I mean, pretty much this month was absolutely amazing for all Cardano holders. From 30 cents, we went almost 120, almost 4x in a matter of a month. We snap out of all the resistance line that we managed to get here in May of 2022, in August of 2022, here a little local top in December of 2023, here in March of 2024 at price of 80 cents, and we just snap all out of these resistance lines like it's nothing. So that brings, yeah, what we actually came back to this resistance line. We tested it, and I think Cardano is gearing up for more upside momentum. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because you just have to see what happened here. From November of 2020, prices were less than 10 cents. And a few months later, in May, we went 250, and then later on in September, we went $3, 30x, above 30x in a matter of a few months. So I don't think we can do something like that, but what I can clearly see right now is this upper trend line that potentially we can go and test, that we've tested in January and in 2018. Its previous all-time high at $1.30, and then the all-time high we tested it again in at $3 in August of 2021. Actually, it was September, I think, 2021. And if we go by quarter 3, quarter 4 of next year, 2025, we can potentially test price of around $5. I'm not going to be surprised. And since we've tested it multiple times, the highly likelihood is actually to break out on the upside, and that's how we can have like a full price discovery and potentially go even to $10. Of course, that's not a financial advice. As I've said, Cardano something can go wrong and basically start dropping and go lower. No one knows. No one can predict the future. That's why always be open-minded, be level-headed, do your diligence before you make you make a decision, because that's not a financial advice. And my personal opinion, I mean, the chart looks bullish. We snap out of all the resistance line, and now we're gearing up for more upside momentum. This is just something that I see in the charts, and compared to the Bitcoin chart, look at that move. We bounced exactly perfectly from that downward trend line that we've tested it multiple times throughout the years. In 2000, I think that's 2017 we've tested it. We moved quite a bit from 2019 and 2020, and we tested it again, and we're having this huge bounce. So basically, if we go and test this upper trend line that we've tested at its all-time high and back in 2018 and 17, if we go and we measure it, that's pretty much 6x from here. But in Bitcoin terms, this can be potentially 10x move, and that's another confirmation that Cardano can potentially go to $10. Of course, that'll be like a massive market capitalization. That'll be at the time of recording circulating supplies 35 billion, so 350 billion market capitalization. That's insane. But once the true speculation comes in, and all these institutions rush in to start buying some of the outs, and Cardano can be one of those coins. Yeah, I mean, let's see how it's gonna play out. It will be interesting to see. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support, all the lovely comments. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's for absolutely free. And if you really, really want to support my work, you can subscribe to my Patreon, get my 2 books for free. The Art of Chart Analysis, over 70 pages of how to become a sophisticated trader, gain quite a lot of knowledge in the art of chart analysis. And my Crypto Guidebook, over 60 pages, filled with very useful information for this bull cycle. And of course, with that subscription comes exclusive content with the most underappreciated, undervalued coins, some of them 50, 100x. Of course, that's not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see each other later on. Goodbye.